So far, we have spoken about change and organizational development in very broad terms. We've also focused closely on individual attitudes and used theory which has its roots in the West. But increasingly, writers are suggesting that the ideas and thinking of Africa can and should contribute to the ways in which we go about changing organizations. Lovemore Mbigi is someone who has done a great deal of work in this area.
The focus on change has been in changing structures, changing systems, but the whole area of the kind of the spirit of that organization has not been addressed. Change has to start with the individual. You can't change an organization with a growthless individual. And ultimately, your key actors have to grow if the organization is going to change. And they have to grow not just intellectually, but emotionally and spiritually. What the schools in Africa have done is to neglect implicit knowledge and concentrate on explicit knowledge. So the inner journey for people to find who they are so that they can travel to what they can become is not undertaken. So emotionally people don't grow, they pass the exams. Creativity is very neglected. My view is that learning is not only intellectual. One of the critical areas of innovation in Africa is to make learning playful. I often find the schools and the universities quite boring. I have introduced in my class a lot of singing. And it is very remarkable how the energy levels rise after spontaneous singing. You will never get into the psychic energy of the community and the school through an intellectual journey. It is in the area of creativity, through mechanisms like psychic visioning, that African culture can contribute. Because most creativity is pictorial in nature, and you access that psychic energy not through intellectual. You actually have to escape common sense. And you do that mostly through drumming and trance dancing. One area where we can contribute immensely is around what is it that we can learn from ancient collective learning methods. Because for most organizations, you draw your greatest value as you progress from individual level learning to team learning to organizational learning and to inter-organizational learning.
Although Mbigi sets his ideas in a very different context, you may notice that some of his concepts are similar to ideas expressed by Peter Senge. For instance, the importance of collaboration, of focusing on individuals and not just on structural efficiency, and of focusing on individuals' emotions, not just on their intellect. But Mbigi also raises the idea that communities can be powerful forces for change in organizations, or of resistance to change. How can you use these ideas to change your school, and maybe the interaction of learners in your classroom? Are there rituals and ceremonies in your situation which you can adapt and integrate in your school? Now turn to section 4.4 of your learning guide and complete activity 22.